Happy Friday, YouTube. I hope you guys had a great week in sales. Hope it's been positive. But I wanted to stop for a second, guys, and drop some information here today. And I hope the information that we share with you guys, again, is positive. A lot of what we're going to discuss can be negative. And I know I have a lot of people in the space that don't like me. You hate me because I want to talk about TCPA and DNC. And I'm happy to have Mr. Deryck Richardson from the state of Ohio, a friend of mine for many years, that his number one experience has been lead generation, team. Lead generation at a high level. So the goal here today is to, bring some awareness, bring some information, because if you have the right information, then you're able to make the right decisions. So with that said, again, I have Deryck here joining me here today. But before we dive into that, I want to set the premise of, again, why we're having this meeting here today. For everybody here on YouTube that comes and watches my content. Live transfers have been one of the best ways that companies like mine for the last 5-7 years were able to deliver a scale to my business. And throughout the years, a lot of you guys, I've come on here, I talk to you guys about the warnings about what not to do, not because I'm a lawyer, because I'm not a lawyer. I'm an agent trying to play ball over the telephone, working leads. But because of that reason, I've had to learn these laws. But over the course of time, some of you haven't liked this message. Again, my goal here today is for all of you guys that are still looking for transfers. Yes, I'm stepping away from live transfers because only a small group of people know how to do them right. Okay? So, with that said, let's dive into the, meeting here today. And like I said, I've known Deryck for many years, and we've collaborated in the past on lead gen and projects here and projects there. The amazing thing about Deryck is that he's in the insurance space. So he's in the game just like me and you. He understands what it takes. And the other day we were talking about compliance. He also does inbounds. But with compliance, let's talk about the nightmare stories. Let's talk about the stuff that keeps us up at night, right? And that comes to TCPA and DNC compliance. So what I wanted to open it up with, Deryck, really for you, to everybody here watching here today, I want you to share with everybody the day that you got this notice. I want you to take through people, agency owners, what that day was like, what you felt like, because a lot of people, they rather pay cheap for a lead, or they would rather not look into it a little bit deeper, or maybe take the time to watch a video like this, right? And just see and learn. But I would like for you to take it from a position of share with us how that day happened and share your story, man. And after the fact, we'll talk a little bit more about your background and all that good stuff.
Sure. So first of all, thanks for having me. Appreciate it. It's funny because as a lead provider, so I am an insurance agent, and we sell life insurance right over the phone, just like probably the people that are listening to this podcast. We've done it over the phone from this office in Columbus, Ohio for now 7 years. So we're not new to call center telesales for insurance. But also out of this office, we run Richardson Marketing Group. Richardson Marketing Group is a lead company, specifically designed to enhance customer acquisition agents of insurance agents. So that's what we do. In the call space, it is not uncommon to get a demand letter. Most of the time, the demand letter comes in, you look at it, and you say, okay, is this legit? And if it is, you say, uh-oh, and you pay them. And if it's not, you rip it up and you throw it away. In this particular case, what happened was we got a demand letter that we ripped up and we threw away. And the reason why we ripped it up and threw it away is because we could track the Journaya token on the aged lead that we sent to our overseas call center. So we are in compliance. So that thing gets ripped up, Bubba, tossed away. About a month later, we get another notice. You haven't responded. And again, awesome. We don't need to respond. I'm not paying you $2,000 because we're not at fault here. About a month later, another month later, so now we're 90 days in, we actually get a subpoena. And I'm like, what is this guy's problem? Like, what is going on here? Like, I hadn't even, got my lawyer involved yet, because again, we can track the compliance of the call. So there's no even gray area here. None. Now I got a subpoena. Now I got to get my attorney involved, get the attorney involved, send him all the information that I need. He's like, cool, we'll have this thing knocked out pretty quickly. The problem was the serial litigator. So a normal complaint, as you guys may or may not know, is pretty simple. People have got some get-rich-quick scheme online of how to, make people pay you $2,000 every time your phone rings, or some book that was a bestseller on, teaching people how to make money from telemarketers. And you can poke holes in that as long as you're compliant. The serial litigators, though, are playing the game and looking for the loopholes. And so this guy was playing the game and looking for the loopholes. The loophole was he had legitimately opted in to a website, to a landing page with TCPA language that was legit, which is how we got the Journaya. Much like Do Not Call, there's a 30-day grace period. So we are buying age data to send over to the call center that has a Journaya token. He waits the 30-day grace period because he knows the game, he knows the loopholes. By now, his information's all over the universe because, that warehouse that generated the lead has sold his information multiple times, including to companies like me. After the 30-day period, he then goes and tells the initial website where he opted into, hey, I no longer give permission for my information to be called, for my information to be out there.
He opted out.
But he's opted out. By now, it's everywhere. There's spider webs everywhere. So that was the loophole that he was playing. So though we could confirm and prove that he had opted in initially, his argument was, yeah, but I opted out. Game he was playing. He's done this 22 times, by the way. This is what he does. He does this with intent and purpose to get these demand letters paid. He makes a living doing this. The other problem is he hired a pretty good attorney who's a TCPA attorney, Anthony Peronic, who was just known as a shark in this business to go after companies like mine. We sold the lead to an Allstate agent, and they were suing Richardson Marketing Group. When it comes to TCPA class action suits, your LLC does not protect you. So they were suing Deryck Richardson. They were suing the Allstate agency that bought the lead. Again, TCPA class action does not, your LLC does not protect you. So they sued the agent who owned the Allstate agency. And the fifth defendant was Allstate Corporate. Now we knew, I don't got $5 million. It's a $5 million lawsuit. We don't have $5 million. RMG doesn't have $5 million. Deryck Richardson doesn't have $5 million. The Allstate agency owner does not have $5 million. The Allstate agency business does not have $5 million. Boom, Allstate Corporate does have $5 million. And so we knew that they were going after where the money was. Now that we said basically we're going to take it all the way. Like, you're not going to just bully me into giving you a demand letter. I don't care what kind of loophole you got. I didn't do anything wrong. You can try to make it a class action lawsuit to try to get as much money out of me as you can. Number one, I don't got the money, so you ain't gonna get it anyway. And number two, we're not doing anything wrong. So to prove a class action, there has to be a class. The class has to be of so many people for the judge to even entertain that you've hurt so many people. That's why you see commercials, Camp Lejeune and methylphenionia and all that stuff, because they're trying to get people to join the class, because you have to have enough people in the class to make it worth a class action. They subpoenaed our records. This was during COVID. They subpoenaed our records. They remotely took over my computer and looking for files and all types of stuff. We had sold millions of leads because we sell age data also on top of calls and real-time leads and call verified leads. They found less than 50 people to join the class. We were dismissed. The judge says, cool. We can't find enough people that you've offended, that you've hurt to make this a class action. Unfortunately, after that happened, Allstate did not want to go any further, and they settled, making it a monumental settlement, because when you settle, there's some sort of guilt, that you portray when you settle. So Deryck Richardson was dismissed. Richardson Marketing Group was dismissed. Allstate Agency was dismissed. Allstate Agency owner was dismissed. Allstate Corporate settled. And that was the biggest thing that has ever happened to me, because I was like, well, cool, we won. We took on the bully.
Let me ask you this. What was your feelings like in this situation? Because you're cool, calm, collected here. What was going through you, man, as you're facing this and you're going through the motions, right? Because let me add something. For all of you guys that are listening in, I want you guys to really focus in on a loophole that Deryck's talking about. It was a loophole. So if you own a call center, right, you're generating traffic, leads, transfers, whatever. In his case, he purchased a valid lead of this person, this serial litigator, he himself asked for the info, but he knew that most call centers don't have a way to monitor the opt-out on the opt-in, guys. I want you to think about this. For example, text message marketing. Doesn't matter who markets you, there's always a little opt-out on your text messages. For you guys watching, you ever notice? Say, stop texting me.
Right.
This is the loophole. Mr. Deryck's a smart businessman, but he got caught up in a loophole that was pretty ridiculous. But again, it's a proof that it don't matter. You can't go and cry to the judge and say, oh, but your honor, hey, you violated, in their book, their rights. He knew the loophole.
Mm-hmm.
And let's call it as it is. Settling is a form of losing, period. And they did that.
100%.
Dude, I'm sorry this happened to you, right? Because we've talked about this over the course of the years. But a lot of people don't think about this. And this is a loophole. Now imagine how many agents are buying leads right now, Deryck, from onshore, nearshore, overseas. I don't care. But these centers that are selling these live transfers have no way of monitoring the whole dynamic from start to finish.
Correct.
Don't even get me started on DNC compliance. That's another aspect. You had a TCPA compliance because you called the lead that was opted out, so he was getting you on that. So technically he won the game because it was a loophole. My question to you, when you look at the industry, and this is why I've decided to get out of live transfers and only send my live transfer business to people like you. Why? Because I know for a fact you're at your computer checking it out,
all day,
watching everything. You're
all
watching your
day.
DNC compliance, your TCPA compliance, and this loophole, it will never happen again. And I don't think a lot of people realize what this kind of litigation, lawsuits, how serious they are, and how, in your case, you're lucky. You made it. I can tell you a list of people that were in the same boat. They're no longer in this business. They got shut down. Let me ask you this. Why do you think, being that our space is so massive, right? Marketing, BPO, outsourcing, but why do you think it's so out of control from your experience and what you've learned? Because I know you work globally too, and you got people all over the planet that you've collaborated with. But why do you feel that this is happening? And obviously, I know what you're doing to fight this, but let's start with that, if you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, so the easy thing is the easy answer is because there's money to be made. And when people see that you can make money in a space, they flock to it. And what happens is you have professionals in any space. You have professionals who do it correctly, and then you have people who are entrepreneurs and want to be like the professional, and they do it haphazardly. And they're not following the rules and regulations of the space, which can make the space look bad, which is how the lead space in general got watered down, probably about 6 years ago. Right. I started with real-time leads back in 2009, working for what is now Smart Financial. Lev Brinsky, who's the owner of Smart Financial, had insuranceagents.com. He sold it to Bankrate in 2012. He waited out his non-compete and then reopened Smart Financial. But at insuranceagents.com, man, we were building the websites, right? They had more IT and tech guys and developers than they had sales and customer service reps. It was all organic traffic coming. SEO, SEM, Facebook had not monopolized the online marketing space yet. And so you could really have really, really good stuff going on. Same thing happened. That's why internet leads now are terrible. Same thing happened. A whole bunch of guys said, oh, all I got to do is find a way for somebody to fill out this form online and I can sell a real-time lead. Well, cool. Let's offer them a Starbucks gift card. Let's offer them a cruise. Let's hide this form inside their app. Now they're playing Candy Crush. They need some coins to get to the next level. Let's capture their information, have very small writing at the bottom that says, I agree to be called for insurance.
Right. And you know what's crazy? I'm sorry to interrupt you, but what's crazy is a lot of those folk that are doing that type of TCPA language at the opt-in.
Right.
The interview you did with the gentleman with Topman firm.
Right.
Dude, right now it's getting so crazy where in the near future it's going to be very, very specific TCPA language where if I buy leads from you, it has to be Laura Herrera Insurance Agency, period. I can't take that lead and offset it, right?
Correct.
It's amazing.
Correct.
Guys,
it's crazy. The other thing that and I don't mean to interrupt, but the other thing that you asked me was what was my feeling during it. Yeah. And I will tell you this, and you're right, a lot of people don't make it out of situations like this, and we almost didn't make it out of this situation. Honestly, we were flying high, man. We were in 2020 in the middle of a pandemic, the 6th fastest growing company in Ohio, privately held. In 2020, that's in the middle of the pandemic. We're over here like, what pandemic? I don't see a pandemic anywhere. Where's the pandemic at? And things drastically changed with this lawsuit, with now Allstate being putting us on their do not use list. State Farm, we had no problem with State Farm. They put us on their do not use list. So now we have 2 of our top 3 clients, individual, agency owner clients, and their corporate office says you can't use these guys. But my feeling during it was, number one, I was proud. So everybody on this and listening is probably an entrepreneur, and I was proud because you don't get sued for $5 million if you ain't made it.
That's right, man.
So I said, you know what? Hey, they think I got $5 million. I made it, baby.
I did on the real though, but I love your spirit because you went through a war zone, and a lot of people can talk about it, but when they're sitting there at night, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
What's up? when you
Right.
count your friends, you know,
Right. Right.
when you count your
Exactly.
friends, you're like, hey, what happened? They
Right.
all disappear on you, right?
They
But you
do. They
manned
do.
up, you handle your business, bro. You settled, and I respect the hell out of that. That's why, man, I want people to hear about this story. And like I told you, yes, for air insurance marketing, we're getting away from the live transfer network overseas, near shore. We're doing that because, I feel that, inbound strategy, digital marketing is picking up for us. It's not replacing live transfers. I get it because there's so many, variables, right? But eventually, this is the future that I see, right? But in the meantime, I got so much business, Deryck, of folk, right, that call me up right now. They're upset because I'm shutting down my live system, and not completely because I still have people in Pakistan, South America, Philippines, right, that are brothers that are doing it right. But that's the issue. I sat down with a carrier not too long ago, and the number one thing the executives team asked me, they said, are you managing the compliance? And I'll be honest, in the meeting, I said yes. But then after that meeting, I truly asked myself
Hmm.
if I was. And I'm going to put it out there. I didn't lie, but I didn't have like all the info.
Hmm.
And I can answer, I'm not.
Right.
And with you talking about a loophole, bro, an opt-in, come on. What was it?
Crazy.
Right? An opt-in. The guy opted in, then opted out, and then you guys called.
Hmm.
There was no technology that caught it on a CRM system. And let's be honest, these CRM systems today, they haven't caught up with true regulations. I can drop some names of CRMs that are in trouble with the FCC and regulation, right? So what do? Well, you partner up with groups like you, bro, like us. Because we recommend the hell out of you, bro, because I know you will not let nobody else go through this stuff. I know you,
100%.
because you're in the game. You're an insurance, player yourself, you and your partner. Am I
100%.
wrong in this, man? That's what I'm saying. We need the transfer system, but it's not worth the risk if you don't know who's involved in cooking up the pasta sauce. You know what I'm saying? It's like, come
That's
on.
right. 100%.
But if I know
100%.
Derek's chefing it up and he's doing his best to making sure everything's being done right, I'm good with that. Which brings me to my haters. My haters are gonna say, "Oh yeah, Mr. Deryck, oh yeah, he's the Almighty." Human error happens, but and I know that there's something called the safe harbor defense, and if we're able to prove to a judge that, hey, we're doing everything we can, man, to do everything by the books. Deryck's at the helm right there, watching all compliance. He's sending live transfers that are compliant TCPA and DNC. We made a mistake, Your Honor, but we can prove it to him. He ain't gonna punish us, bro. I could promise you that, And that's what people need to understand. It's not perfect. Humans will make mistakes. There is human error, but we're not doing it maliciously, like me and you've talked about that, right? And I
Correct.
think people need to know that more and more and understand that risk and who's out there doing it right. I know you're doing
Correct.
it right because you've been through the bad parts of what we're doing. You know what not to do to protect the folks that are truly looking for a solution when it comes to, final expense life transfers. So let me ask you this. What are you charging for your transfers now? Can you give everybody the website? And obviously,
Absolutely.
everyone that's watching here today, you'll get a discount with Mr. Deryck. Okay, if you use a promo code, you'll have to check out the website. In the website, guys, you'll see the promo code from today. But we'll keep it simple. VirtualFE. If you punch that in there, you'll get a discount on the live transfers. But can you break it to us? What your
Yeah,
charges
man.
are? What do you need? How you require?
Yeah, so the website is www.richardsonmarketinggroup.net. There are two G's back to back. Marketing Group, Richardson Marketing Group.net. We will have a backslash virtual FE. So richardsonmarketinggroup.net backslash virtual FE. It'll get you $5 off of our call. So our calls are normally $50 for a 120-second buffer. Go to richardsonmarketinggroup.net backslash virtual FE, and there'll be a sign up page there for $45 on your live transfers. It's 120-second black or white. The call lasts for 120 seconds. You pay. If it doesn't, you don't. So that's how we do business.
And how many state minimum, Deryck, do you require on that?
We prefer 5 states minimum for sure.
5 state minimum.
Yeah, and we don't do a lot of the I'm available 9 to 2 this day, 9 to 3 that day.
Right.
We really need you open for. Yeah, we need you open, and we'll put a concurrency cap on you, so you're not getting calls at the same time. But we do need you open for at least 7 hours in a day.
There you go, guys. So you heard it from him. Again, if it comes down to inbounds, you call me. Deryck's working with us on the inbound strategy too. But when it comes to live transfers, call him up. I'm getting slowly out of live transfers, but in the meantime, there's still a window of opportunity to use it. And you can't go wrong when you're working with an outfit that is truly committed to compliance. What good is it, right, to pay less if at night you're wondering if you're going to wake up to a violation?
Correct.
And you guys have heard Mr. Deryck talk about how he felt, what he was going through. And he's cool. He's laughing. But if you really put some thought into what you would feel like, for me, I'd be nervous. My family, I'd probably be fighting with somebody. I'd be fighting with someone because $5 million, come on.
Well, I didn't take it seriously at first, man. That's why I was laughing and joking. But when I told the judge, whatever. I don't got the money, so why are we doing this?
I mean,
it happened to be while they were still shut down, so we were. Some of this was virtual, and my attorney's not cheap. He's $5.99 an hour. So I continued to tell the judge. I said, hey, listen, I don't have $5 million. I see what he did here. We understand what he did here. It's reverse bullying, basically, because he's trying to sue us for bullying him, but he's actually bullying us. He's done this 22 times. He is a serial litigator. Please, I'm sorry. So honestly, to finish the story, man, what happened was I did get nervous at the end because I told the judge, and the judge didn't like it at first, but then she understood, which was great. And I'm blessed that I had her and she understood. But what I told her at first was go ahead and slap me with the judgment, because I'm tired of the continuances, and I'm tired of the long drawn out. No, we got to do this. We got to take over your computer, and send us this, send us that. I'm tired of it. I'm getting beat up with attorney fees. $5.99 an hour every hour. I mean, he writes an email, it's $300. I mean, goodness gracious. So what I told the judge was, I said, listen, I'll be honest with you. I will have a new LLC up and running. I will personally file bankruptcy, open it up to somebody else's name. Like do whatever you need to do. Like, you're not going to stop me. This bully is not going to stop me. And at first she didn't like it. What I'm blessed that she saw was when they finally did the subpoena of the computer and all of our leads that we had ever sold, and they could find less than 50 people who wanted to sign up to the class, he finally said, Mr. Richardson, I understand why you said that.
It was frivolous. It was a bully tactic, frivolous. And the litigator was betting that you didn't know your info.
Correct.
And that happens. Why? Because of lack of knowledge. No one's educating folk.
And I wasn't saying to minimize the situation that I was going to continue to go, even if I had to file bankruptcy and open up other companies. What I was saying was I didn't do anything wrong, which is why I'm going to continue to put food on my family's table by doing the business that I've been doing for 8 years. I didn't do anything wrong. So do whatever you need to do to me. I'm going to keep doing the right thing, is what I was trying to say. She took it initially as, I don't care that I was sloppy. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to file bankruptcy. But she got it and she understood it and she issued me an apology, which was
Safe harbor
fantastic.
defense, Deryck.
Yeah,
You're headed
yeah.
in that direction. And when that came back, that was under 50. They said, "Come on, we're gonna punish a man for making a mistake."
Right.
They prove that your intent, right? And I get it, but here's the reality: a lot of people don't understand. I ask agents all the time, "You pick up the phone to call your leads?" "Yes, I do." "All right." "You call them?" "Well, you're a telephone guy now."
Yep.
If you
Yep.
pick up the phone and you're calling on old leads, you have to comply. You got to
Yep.
train on these issues.
Yep.
Bottom line is, look, we've all made mistakes, right? But it's how we make them right. And you did what's right, bro. You know what I mean? And now here today, when you go through what you've gone through, now you can help others, other
100%.
agencies, other agents, so they don't fall in the same trap. So
100%.
for everybody here listening here today, again, I'm going to post the website to Deryck's website. Please hit him up. Live transfers, call him up. Don't call me. Right? If you guys are looking for inbounds, call me up. But transfers, this is your man. Because I know for a fact, me personally, and I've known this man for years, but we're not going to dive into that. But I know for a fact that he is making sure that everything is being done right. Does it mean that we won't make mistakes? No. But it means he's going to be on top of it. So no mistakes are made maliciously or, because someone missed the beat. No. Call him up. You guys heard it. $50 for a live transfer, 2-minute buffer. If you follow through on the promo code, you'll get a $5 minimum discount, and you got to be in 5 states. How many you need a day? 10, 20? Call him up.
We got you.
Yeah. Deryck, dude, I really thank you, bro, for sharing your story. I've known it for a minute, but it takes some courage really to talk about stuff like this, because everybody always flaunts their victories and all the winnings, right? But
Yeah.
not many people really sit down and talk about, the hardships and the challenges of being an entrepreneur, and I respect the hell out of you for that, bro. So you got my vote over here from Northern California, bro.
Appreciate it, boss. Appreciate it, man.
Anyways,
Yeah, it's
with
not
that
always
said,
rainbows and butterflies, man. It's tough out here sometimes. So appreciate it.
anyways, man, God bless you, and I really appreciate you, bro. God
Thanks,
bless you.
man.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much.